David, his character had a lot to do with what the tabernacle was all about. Because David was a man, this is what God said, he is a man after my own heart. In other words, David wasn't looking for what God could do for him. He loved God for who God was, for who God is. That his heart longed for God. And because he was after God's heart, he saw God's hand. And see, God knows when we love him. God knows when we care about him. God knows, and God is drawn to that. God said, I found in David a man after my own heart. And that's what God has wanted for us. To know that the way's been made. That we can come to know God. We can approach him because his presence is available for all of us. And so David gives us the instructions, the understanding of what this is about. So to go today, here's the point. We're going to build on this end of it. Because David wasn't about religion. He was about the presence of Almighty God. When Jesus mentioned David, he brought about this idea that he said, you know what? Have you never read? Because the Pharisees were having difficulty with Jesus. And religious people will always have a problem with praise and worship. True praise and worship. Okay? Because no. It doesn't have to be so loud. God isn't deaf. No, but he's not nervous either. Jesus taught us to pray that thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. If you have the guts enough to read the Bible, when you learn and understand what's going on in heaven, you think it's loud here, you ain't seen nothing yet. And if worship bothers you, then heaven ain't where you're heading, because that's near and dear to the heart of our Father in heaven. And God has made the way. He wants us to know him. Because when you begin to worship God for who he is, see, you begin to discover that God is Jehovah Rapha, the Lord our healer. God is Jehovah Nisi, the Lord our victory. You find that God is Jehovah Shalom, the Lord our peace. All that we've ever longed for, all that we ever desire. When God becomes real to us, what we worship becomes reality to us. And when we go for the heart of God, God begins to manifest.